Yeah, Norm Klinger, 1 South Oxford Avenue. I'm glad that the commissioners didn't duck the issue about wildlife. Thank you. I see a number of the usual suspects in the audience, and then I see fresh faces. And to the people who are not familiar with these meetings since this administration came into office, you should be aware there are many ways to be informed. I'm delighted everybody showed up tonight and is participating and received a nice reception from the commissioners. As you've noticed, there is no adversity between the people and their elected officials in this administration. If you say something that has value and makes some sense, it'll be considered, as you've noted. Nobody gets run over by a steamroller because somebody was elected to make decisions. The commissioners meet every month for a workshop meeting on the second Thursday at 7 o'clock, and it's here. And those meetings are actually livelier than this meeting, and we have fun. And then the public meeting for business is the third Thursday at 7 o'clock. It used to be otherwise in that there were meetings held in the morning, there were meetings held at 6 at night or 6:30. It was rather inconvenient for people who have jobs and other obligations to come to the meetings. So the schedule was changed with this administration to accommodate the residents of Ventnor City. There are other ways to find out what's going on in addition to coming to the meetings, which I hope you will be coming to, even if it isn't about a personal issue or a neighborhood issue, but just a general issue that affects the city. Because we're a small town of about, I guess, 16,000 people, and what happens maybe a mile away from you still impacts your life in some way. You can look up the city website, for those of you who go on the internet, under ventnorcity.org, and you can see a lot of great information about the city, about upcoming meetings, about proposed ordinances, and I hope in the near future about proposed resolutions as well. You can also find out meeting dates. You can find out what different departments do, who has what phone number. There are a lot of ways to access the city information without it being a big mystery when you show up at a public meeting with a single issue. You can be a fully informed citizen. There's also a great website known as weloveventnor.com. There's their camera over there. And anybody can go on that and look at the various issues and interests about Ventnor. You can find out about new stores, new restaurants, new gossip, city affairs, world affairs, presidential election affairs, and you can write in. There's no barrier to it. It's a website that was created by a resident, and people do participate. It's very interesting, sometimes controversial, and you don't even have to identify yourself. You can use a fictitious name, and then everybody tries to find out who you are by trying to guess from your tone who you are. So it's a little bit amusing in that respect. But it's a great way to find out more about the city, and it brings us all closer together so that the value of living in a small town is actually increased. It's great as it is now. It's increased when you don't feel like a stranger coming into a public meeting and not knowing what to expect, because you're tuning in to what the city is doing. And I hope everybody will do that and tell your friends and neighbors to do it. And I hope someday we'll have overflow audiences and sell tickets, and that's how we'll raise money for various projects. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to speak to us? Yes.
Do you need my name again? Cassandra Schober.
Yes.
I haven't moved, I don't think. I think it's very encouraging that the city is going to try the biking extension of the hours on the boardwalk. I have concerns as well, but I like to ride my bike. And with the passing of this particular ordinance, I'd like to just encourage the city to consider additional bike paths throughout the community. Maybe we'll recognize that having longer hours on the boardwalk during the week has eased some of the congestion in the morning. Maybe we'll find that people are a little more polite and understanding of the rules and regulations. Personally, I'd like to see that happen throughout all of Ventnor. In the middle school, the children from 5th grade on are allowed to ride their bikes. We live close to the school, but the area that's incorporated into what's considered walking goes as far as from the library to the school. There are some maybe dangerous intersections. There aren't great streets. And riding your bike, it gets you there a little bit faster. For the kids, for the parents, for those who like to ride their bikes, we have the boardwalk, and that's great, and we share the boardwalk. But maybe if we could have some more bike paths and encourage a more biking community, we'd be able to get more people to be cognizant of us on the road and sharing the road and sharing the streets. So please take that into consideration. Thank you.
Very much. Anybody else? Yes, yes, Marcia.
I haven't.
And say your name and address.
Nobody. Marcia Gillespie, 418 North Oxford. Ventnor. Well, I did want to say that this has been great, enjoying both the workshops and your meetings. I've never seen so many people all the time, and I've never seen so many tablings of things, which is great. I'm glad about the tabling of the wildlife, only because I like to go to, I don't know if it's included, to the ramp by the Viking rowing boat and feed the ducks with my little grandson Peter. But I'm glad you tabled that. But my question is, I happened to catch the end of Pinky's show today, and I didn't know what it was all about, but it was in reference to you, Mrs. Kelly, Mayor Kelly, coming on tomorrow to share with everybody the financial situation of our town. So I won't be listening to Pinky tomorrow because I won't be around. What is that all about? If you may.
Mr. Kravitz called me today, and what he's interested in are some of the things that the people have been calling him about that are happening here in Ventnor that have to do with the water and sewer problem and some of those things. So I've asked Commissioner Weintraub to please join me, and he didn't give me a time, but I think now that I've been thinking about it, Steve and I we'll come up with a time and we'll go on. And but he told me that he had people who were asking him or saying to him, why are you always talking about Atlantic City when there are major things happening in your own town? And so he called and asked if I would do that, and I said I would. So that's what it's about. He didn't tell me any, we didn't discuss finance. He didn't say finance. He was talking to me about the problems that we had at Harvard Avenue and the situation that we had over by the ball field and things like that. So I'm assuming that's what he wants to hear from us. That's what he and I spoke about on the phone.